What's up guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm sitting on the floor in the living room right now. As you can see, I'm still in this like PJ top. It's the only maternity things I've gotten are like maternity PJs. And I think that was probably one of the best decisions I ever made, but it's huge on me. I think I got a size a little too big. Anyways, welcome back to my channel. This is an exciting video. I'm doing baby names or I guess me, love, but won't be using. We do have a name. We have decided. It took us a lot of deliberation because Kyle and I kind of have different styles of names. So it took us a little bit to come to an agreement on a name, but I have so many cute names that I love that we didn't use, mostly because Kyle did not like them. Because Kyle likes very out there names, and I like a medium out there name. So it just took us a while to agree. But I'm gonna go through the baby names I love but won't be using, and hopefully maybe you can use them because I think they're all such cute, fabulous names. Unfortunately, I couldn't get my husband on board for a lot of them. So the first name that I really loved was Luca. I know it's a really common name now, so maybe some people wouldn't be into it. I think that was, Kyle liked Luca, but he felt like it wasn't that unique anymore because he feels like a lot of kids are being named Luca, so I don't know. The next name I had was Beckham, and I was so stuck on Beckham for so long, and Kyle was just like not into it. He didn't love it. He didn't hate it, but he didn't love it. So I sadly could not get him on board, but I think Beckham is such a darling name. I think it's so cute, and it's not super common, but it's not insanely out there, and it feels kind of classic, I think. The next name on my list is Emerson. I think this is another super popular name now. Like, I feel like I know a lot of little Emersons. I think it was a phase, I don't know. Wow, I'm already out of breath. And I just started. The next name that is on the list is Malachi. I really like that name. Kyle liked it too, and it was on kind of our finalist list. It's just a very strong name. But ultimately we just liked the name that we chose more. But yeah, it's strong, it's powerful, it has cool meaning behind it. A lot of them, I looked up the meaning just to see if they had cool meanings, and sometimes some names stayed on the list just because I felt like the meaning of them was super cool. This next one was my top name, but Kyle absolutely hated it, and that's Davis. So my mom's maiden name is actually Davis, so I thought it was kind of like a nod to my mom's side of the family. So to me, it had special meaning, and I loved it. I think it's such a cute name, but Kyle just did not like it. He wouldn't even allow it to be a middle name. Like, he was just, that's how much he didn't like it. I don't know why. I think it's such a good name, and I think it's still pretty unique. So sadly, I didn't get Davis, but that's okay. Maybe one of you can use Davis, and that would make me happy. The next name that I really loved was Leon, which is a really old-timey name. For some reason, I love old-timey names. Not all of them, like not the basic ones like Richard, but I really love like the Leons kind of old names. I think they're so, I don't know what about them I love so much, but I had a lot of old-timey names that I just threw out at Kyle, and he was not having it. But I thought Leon was classic and unique, but wasn't crazy, and I just really liked it. Also, I love Leon Bridges, so maybe that's why I just associate that name with his music. I don't know, but I loved that name. Another name that we had was Wes, W-E-S. Thought it was cute, but I don't know, I guess we just didn't pick it. But I like the name Wes. I think it's super cute. I also have on here Jax, like J-A-X, which I really loved. It means God is gracious. Kyle kind of liked it, but didn't love it. So then we came up with Jackson, which J-A-X-O-N. So we could call him Jax, but his full name was Jackson. I absolutely love that name. It was actually between that name and the name that we chose. So I think it's super cute. And I just like the little nickname Jax. Like, I just think that's such a cute nickname to call a kid. I don't know why. I actually kind of like the short, I either like it longer, like Jackson, or Wes, like those cute little short names. But ultimately we chose the other name because the other name just felt more right. Like we could picture ourselves calling him the name that we chose. So that's why we didn't go with Jackson, but I still love that name. And honestly, if we have another boy in the future, I'll probably name him that. So yeah, the next name that we had was Indy, I-N-D-I-E. I just thought that was cute and unique and different. We also had Jet, J-E-T-T. Kyle didn't love Jet, but I still think Jet is so cute. Actually, I think he did like Jet, but a player that he was friends with just named his kid that. So he was like, I can't name my kid that because he just named his kid that. Yeah, there was a lot of those, a lot of like, I loved the name Rome, but Kyle wouldn't get on board because one of his trainers' kid's name was that. Same with Roman. So a lot of the names I liked got kicked off the list because someone that Kyle felt was close enough to him had a kid named that, so he didn't want to name his kid the same thing, which I think is funny. But anyways, Roman, I love those two. I also really liked Kenna. We both really liked Kenna. I think it's super cute and different. I also feel like a lot of our names are really gender neutral. So that was another one that was kind of on our top list, along with name Truett, which I think is just a cute little name. It's different, but not out there, which is more my style. Like, I like unique names, but not names that are so unique to where people are like, oh, that's your name. You know what I mean? And the last one on this list is Jace, which we also really liked. But ultimately, we're not using them, so maybe you can use them. Those are names that I love, but will not be using. Maybe that was helpful for you. And now you have something to name your baby on the way. I also thought, since this video was going to be a bit shorter, that I could just kind of give you my second trimester update. I'm well into my third trimester. We're actually in single digits of weeks, which is really, really crazy. I can't believe it, but I never gave a second trimester update because we moved cross country, we bought a house, like we moved into said house, like our lives were just very chaotic. So the second trimester just went by so quick. Overall, I would say I had a good second trimester. My morning sickness didn't go away until about 15, 16 weeks, but it went away, which I love. The only unfortunate thing is that when the nausea went away, the heartburn really ramped up. So I still have very bad heartburn. So I would say that was probably the one negative kind of thing I had in the second trimester. And towards the end, my back and hips started to hurt really bad. So that was kind of a bummer, but for the most part in my second trimester, I felt good. I felt like I had more energy and could get more done, and you're the perfect size, which I took it for granted. I feel like in my second trimester, I just still thought that I was so big already and already felt uncomfortable, but I didn't even understand because now it's a whole nother level. I was not big. I look back at pictures of me that I took in my second trimester that I just thought my belly just looked so big, and you could tell I had a bump, and I look at it and I'm like, girl, that is not a bump. Now you have a bump. And you were not uncomfortable, and now you're uncomfortable. So It was really, really good. I think I agree with most people when they say second trimester is the best. It definitely was for me, just because you're a good size, you're not too big, and you're feeling better, you have more energy. The only really negative symptoms I had were the heartburn and kind of some of the pain, but I started going to the chiropractor and that kind of fixed that really quickly. I also was just on my feet a lot and moving and unpacking, so I think a lot of my pain also came from overexerting my body a little bit too much, and not resting enough like I needed to. But overall, I had a very good second trimester. I didn't really have any weird cravings. I feel like I craved s'mores, popsicles, and candy. Like, those are my cravings. Very healthy stuff. And that was really it. I know how some people have like these really weird combination cravings, but I haven't had any of those yet. But those were the cravings I had a majority of my second trimester, especially popsicles, especially the red, white, and blue ones. Those are my favorites. I would go through like a box of popsicles a week, which is crazy. I bought this huge like 1 pound bag of Mike and Ike's, and within 2 weeks it was gone and no one had any of it but me. So definitely like candy and popsicles and really sugary things for some reason I just cannot get enough of. Even still, I cannot get enough of. But those cravings didn't really start until my second trimester, because honestly, I was so turned off to unhealthy sugary food the first half of my pregnancy. I'm not really sure why, but then those cravings came, and I think that's when I started gaining all my pregnancy weight, was when I finally had the cravings for those kinds of foods. And I definitely had more of an appetite my second trimester. I felt like I could just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and never quite felt full. So that was my second trimester experience. I felt him move for the first time in my second trimester, which was super special. For me, I feel like it was a bit later. I think I was like in the 20s of weeks. I don't really remember which one, but I just remember when my little What to Expect app said you could feel him kick, I didn't really feel him until a few weeks after that. And they were just little flutters. They weren't anything crazy, but towards the end, I felt him a lot. Definitely more so in the third trimester, but feeling your baby move and knowing it's your baby for the first time is a very surreal experience, and something that's really hard to wrap your brain around. And I still can't fully wrap my brain around the fact that there is a full functioning human inside of me. Like, if I were to go into labor right now, he would come out very much looking like a human, just like a little 4-pound human instead of like a 6 or 7. And I just can't wrap my head around it quite yet. And I think towards the end of the second trimester is when it feels so much more real that it's happening, because your belly's getting bigger. You can feel the baby, you feel your body changing in ways that it just didn't the first trimester. Even though I was so sick and I knew like it was my pregnancy making me sick, that didn't really make me feel like I was pregnant. I just felt sick all the time. Versus in the second trimester, I feel like that's really when you start to feel like, oh my gosh, this is real and this is happening, and you're just trying to wrap your head around it all. So yeah, that was just a little small recap of my second trimester. I honestly don't have too much to say about it. I wish I would have written stuff down like I did with my first trimester, but I just didn't, and I haven't been doing that for the third trimester either. Something I wish that I would have started, well, I did kind of start, but I didn't keep up with, was like a journal. And I had this little baby book that would ask you all these questions after every month or so, and it got lost during the move, and I just didn't get a new one, didn't start over. And I just feel like I wish that I did, to have that to look back on, because I can barely even remember my second trimester now. So I know I'm not gonna remember like 10 years from now. And I wish I would have just journaled a lot more and documented it and writing a bit more. I mean, I do have my vlogs, which is cool for me to look back on, and pictures, but I kind of wish I would have journaled a bit more just so I could reread the things that I was thinking and feeling during this time, but oh well, I'll do it for the next one. I suppose I could start doing it now. But that's about it for this video, guys. I feel like this is the first like sit down kind of chatty video I've done in a long time. I just like vlogs, but this was a requested video, so I thought that I would sit down and do it for you guys. So thank you so much for watching. I promise I'll do a house tour. I promise I'll show you his nursery, which is not even close to done, but we've made progress. And all that other good stuff. I promise I'll do it. It's just so crazy and chaotic and all the things, but hopefully next week will be a bit calmer and I can get Kyle to film it with me. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys and all of you who support me, and I hope you have a fabulous day, morning, afternoon, night, week, whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.